Hey guys, J-Games here again. This is going to be with Luffy was Kenpachi Zaraki. So basically, left off with Luffy. Well, first his age, just mentioned Ace and Sabo. So he's 17 currently, and he has Kid and Killer on his crew as he was sailing on the East Blue, the North, like basically the East, the Calm Belt, and the South Blue. Completely just dominating pirate crews, and he found Kid and Killer, who were trying to be pirates, but Luffy took them in on his own crew. And I'm pretty sure it would go like Kid is a year older than Ace and Sabo, so he's 18 right now. And then Killer is 6 years older than Kid. So currently 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. He's currently like 23 and Kid's 18. So yeah, Luffy has him on his crew and he would sail around the East Blue for a bit more until we go around a year later. A year later, there's a bounty hunter going around, and he wants to claim Luffy's 100 million berry bounty. As Luffy already claimed the title as like the Great Terminal Menace who cut a celestial dragon across the chest. And, Luffy basically has a bounty of 100 million already. And with this, Zoro wants to claim it as he's in the East still. Luffy is. Although he's been ordered to the Grand Line, he's met Chopper, he's met Dr. Rain, he's met Vivi, he's met a few people. Hell, he's even beat up all the members of Brokeworks before. He was a candidate to become the new Mr. One. But he didn't want to, so, yeah. He's also been requested to become a warlord. But he just said no, tore up the letter, and killed the news coup. So, yeah, that news coup was his dinner. But yeah, so we go on basically to Luffy finding Zoro's bounty. Zoro's like, I guess like the place where he's hanging out, being like a bar. Luffy walked in, kicking the door, saying, "Which one of you idiots is Roronoa Zoro?" Joining Yasuko and Zoro put the turns at Luffy, saying, Johnny's like, who are you to call Big Bro Zoro an idiot? You can kill grab Johnny Yasuko with a face and throw him out. As Kid is Luffy's, I guess, like repairman and handyman. Killer's Luffy's vice captain. Luffy looked at Zoro, telling him, fight me. Like, come fight me. Zoro dashed at Luffy to stop speed, starting to use onigiri on him. Luffy just let the onigiri hit him, and Zoro realized that Luffy's body was just withstanding the onigiri. Luffy just smirked down at Zoro before headbutting him into the ground, picking him up and proceeds to basically beat the dog shit out of Zoro brutally. Then using a sword, throwing Zoro through a building, asking if he's really worthy to be called a swordsman if he's not strong enough to withstand Luffy. Luffy starts full speed ahead, kicking Zoro in the gut, sending him flying through basically a stone pillar, and catching Zoro before he even hit the ground and throwing him through another building. When he's done, Zoro's completely just messed up and barely able to even move. Luffy grabbed him by the hair, saying, he has potential, but right now no one can help him unlock that potential. So what he'll do is throw Zoro onto his ship, telling him he'll make sure that Zoro can foster that power somewhere where he won't kill someone. He'll keep him kill let's go. As they walk onto the boat, Johnny is going to grab on Luffy, but Luffy just looks at them, telling them he won't kill him, but they'll see Zoro again soon. As he walks away. And he kind of just focuses on training Zoro for a while. In the meantime, while they find somewhere to train, they end up coming across Star Village, where they do find Usopp. Clawdor isn't there just yet, as Luffy chases him out of the East Blue, so, yeah, they find Usopp, they bring Usopp aboard. And Usopp and Zoro train together, it's like just friends. But now you can go on to roughly a year before the current start of One Piece, where Luffy currently is 19 years old. And Zoro's currently kind of trying to fight Killer, but Killer's able to block and defend against all of Zoro's attacks. Killer's vice captain, so he trained a lot harder than anyone else besides Luffy, who all he does is train and eat. So yeah. So Luffy seems to be losing as he talks to someone who's not even there, but it's very rare, but it still happens. It's weird. As Luffy says, it says there's some pink-haired girl on my shoulder. I don't know why she's there, but she's there. And this happens to be, Yachiru, but no one else can see her unless you use observation haki. It just takes haki to see Yachiru. If he doesn't use observation haki, but he has really out-of-control conquerors, he's supposed to control it to some degree, but still, Conquerors does reveal Yachiru's like shadow occasionally, and only Usopp has seen Yachiru. So yeah. At this point, Luffy wears like an eye patch over the eye that Shanks had cut across his face, and this does hinder some of his power. And currently, Zoro's already about as strong as he is post-time skip, just no haki. We can go on to them heading to Bratier now. Once they hit the Bratier, there's this marine ship there that's led up by this guy named Captain Morgan, who's on a high after beating this pirate crew. But the thing is, he's missing a hand, and there's no axe in it yet. But he does have an iron jaw. Luffy walked in with a bounty of roughly 180 million at this point. Morgan saw Sensei and Luffy, and saw his crew. His Luffy looks just like this. Just take away the hair and make it a lot longer. And when the straw hat, he still wears it on his waist. It's under his captain's coat. Luffy doesn't like captain back and just like go take that anything. No, it's just a white cloak. So yeah. But with this, we go on basically to Luffy eating some food, only for Morgan to approach him, pointing a gun at his head, saying, I know who you are. You're the Great Terminal Menace, or Luffy. You're like, you're Luffy, the man with 180 million berry bounty. Luffy look at him saying, yeah, I am. So who are you? Morgan says, I'm Captain Morgan, the man who defeated Kuro, the Black Cat Pirates. He smirks, saying, but he did all that to you? He's like, Morgan's like, yeah, so what? Luffy laughs, saying, I beat that bastard with one hand. He didn't land a single blow on me. Immediately, Morgan froze. Before he can say anything to debunk that, Luffy just punched a hole clean through Morgan's gut, making him throw up blood. We got Morgan by the hair, throwing him out of the bar, out of the brassiere, telling his Marines to get out or else he'll kill them too. They run, picking up Morgan, getting him to Shelltown, so he can get repaired. Sanji immediately kicks Luffy in the face for causing a display of violence. The moment that his kick landed, Luffy isn't even fazed by it and just keeps eating. And so he looks at Sanji with one eye, saying, do you really want to fight me? Only for Zoro to punch Sanji in the back, forcing him flying straight out of the brassiere. Zoro then says, sorry, Captain, I'll handle him. As he just bows walking over to where Sanji is. The ocean means beating the head of Sanji just over and over again, and Sanji can't land a single blow on Zoro. Or if he does, it doesn't faze him. But eventually head back inside, Luffy apologizes to Zeph and everything, and Zeph forgave Luffy. Morgan was being kicked out either way. But eventually, Luffy does talk about, who he is and everything, what he wants to do. And, Sanji actually asked Luffy, do you have a dream? As Luffy did speak of dreams, Luffy just seems to be some brute. So Sanji's like, do you even have a dream, you monster? And Luffy's like, yeah, I guess you could say I have a dream. What about Kid Killer and Zoro and Usopp? Like, I thought they only wanted to fight. He's like, I do, but I have a small dream of mine. Those out the straw hat off his waist, saying, this thing. Some guy beat me up and said that when I'm a strong enough pirate, I can find him, I can fight him, beat him, give the hat back. But until then, I have to keep the hat until I can beat him. Now finding him's the hard part. I started on the east, the south, the calm belt, the Grand Line even. I haven't found even a word of him. One thing I got was this damn place called Elbaf, landed giants or whatever. So it's like, what, giants exist? He says, oh yeah, it's not far past the camp. Past the mountain, there's like an island called Little Garden. There's 2 giants living there. They're pretty cool guys, but they're pretty weak. And it ended up shocking everyone that Luffy's fought giants. Sanji says, no way, giants don't exist. Luffy thinks, wanna go see him? And Usopp says, Sanji's like, I'm not leaving the brassiere. And Usopp says, he'll go. This isn't accomplish his dream by staying here. And Sanji tries to debunk this, but immediately Zeph slaps him back in the head, calling him an idiot, saying, go. It immediately confused Sanji, but he would go because Zeph told him to. And Zeph says, if you don't go, we're not welcome to go back here either way. So yeah. Well, this Luffy would end up leaving with his crew. They had a verse for Pastor's Mountain. He hits his to Whiskey Peak first, and then he walks around grabbing sake, paying for it. And Zoro's trying to pay for it, but the little village, please just leave quickly. We don't want him here. They reveal that they're all bounty hunters who would originally try to kill Luffy, but the first time they tried, he just stared at them all and they all passed out. And they're terrified of that happening again. So yeah. So they take everything they want for free. They leave, heading to Little Garden where they meet Dora and Bragi. Only for them to see someone trying to recruit them. Being, happens to be Mr. 5. Mr. 5 would see Luffy trying to fire an explosion on his face. Luffy appeared in front of him, before grabbing his face full force, squeezing it, telling him that you should know who I am. I was a candidate to replace your number 1. He squeezed Mr. 5's face before tearing it clean off. And then spun around, kicking him in the neck before sending him flying clean off Little Garden. Then he started Dora and Bragi, asking them if they're okay, as they have a few bruises, but they say yeah, they're fine. Only for someone to try to crush Luffy using her weight. But then once she hit Luffy, Luffy's body isn't even budging. Luffy realizes that he's still standing and just walking like there's nothing on him. Luffy's physical strength allows him to lift roughly about 100 tons. So he just grabbed her by the throat, with her hand up, grabbed her throat, and just threw her through a few trees. Then when she landed, she just impaled the chest, and Luffy just pulled the sword out as she just died. So yeah. But Usopp tries to see Dora and Bragi, they talk for a bit, and eventually they head back into the East Blue. Luffy is not a good navigator. He just remembers where he went the first time, so he took that route, the same route again. But yeah, he doesn't want a navigator now, so they're heading back to the East Blue where he found the rest of his crew. They found that they went to South Blue even, they didn't find a good navigator, but eventually, while they're actually docked at night on some random island, a little girl tries to basically steal some stuff on there. Not little girl, but some girl tries to steal all their food. But suddenly she thinks she's about to escape, she's grabbed them, but she's like, put into a chokehold by some giant. You mean he thought it was a fishman because of just how rough his skin seemed and how big he was, but she thought it was a human. At this point, this girl's roughly about 17 or so. Compared to Luffy, who's 19. And look at this girl had orange hair, saying, "Who the hell are you?" She immediately starts to swing her foot up, kicking Luffy in the face, but it landed, and he knew he wasn't fazed by it at all. He just choked her harder. She immediately just said who she was, and Luffy let her go, and talked to her for a sec. Luffy doesn't know that she seemed a bit too anxious to get away, like she was going to get in trouble if she didn't. So he immediately asked her, who are you stealing for? She said no one, just herself, but Luffy called out her bluff. He's a very perceptive guy, but he keeps just, kind of mentioning, you're doing this for someone else, obviously. You're too anxious to get away. I've dealt with regular thieves. You're more cautious than a regular one. You're so young, too, so either you're being forced or someone else is being forced, and you have to do it so they don't get hurt. I can't believe how on the dot Luffy is, but his crew doesn't believe Luffy until Nami confirms it. And tells Luffy whole story from Arlong as he just keeps pressing in, digging up the truth bit by bit. But eventually, with Luffy getting, Luffy denying it, he says, he's never fought a fisherman, he wants to go fight him. So, they all went to Kokoyashi. Nami told Luffy where Arlong Park was, and Nami said, Arlong, this idiot wants to fight you. Arlong looked over at Luffy, saying, so some brat wants to, before he can say anything else, Luffy's fist was already through Arlong's chest, saying, I thought you'd take it. He puts it in Arlong's chest, walking away, and he's letting his crew massacre them. So, yeah. And they kind of just utterly decimate Arlong's pirate crew. This one just jumped on Chew and then hit him in the face with just full force and kept wailing on him. This one physically is a pretty strong guy. So, yeah. But they have a navigator now, and Nami says she'll join them. But now they want to head back to the Bratimi to Village to say hi to them. They do, and while they're there, they see Clawdor. Luffy already called out who he was, saying, "What's Kuro doing here?" Everyone froze, saying, "Kuro, who's that?" Yeah, that's Clawdor. Clawdor's like, "Who said my name?" Turn around, saying, Luffy immediately froze, saying, Luffy says, "I'll give you an hour. Pack up and leave." Clawdor immediately says, "God damn it, you had to call my bluff while I was here. I was doing so good, too." Luffy trying to impale him with his claws, only for the claws to be shattered the moment they hit Luffy. He started at him before saying, "I had have everyone cover their heads. I don't cover their heads because they're cover their eyes." Because I just told everyone to do it. They did. And suddenly, everyone looks where Luffy first was, and we see a giant pile of blood. And what seems like drag marks. Luffy threw Kuro's body into the water, saying, "You're not dead yet, but you'll drown at some point." Kuro's upset side of Kaya, telling her what happened, and she really got me for like a fool, but she understood. Now, with this, they leave, heading all the way to now Drum Island, where Luffy's been here before. He's met Chopper, Dr. Rain, and Wobble didn't seem to be here, so he's currently at a meeting to another kingdom nearby. Not Alabasta, but another kingdom. So Luffy went to the castle where Dr. Rain and Chopper were hanging out usually, talked to them for a bit, and said he needed a doctor. He has a navigator now, but he could use a doctor. Now, Dr. Rain's a bit nursing, telling Luffy he's a pretty violent guy, and he doesn't really get damaged. Does he really need a doctor? He says, no, he doesn't personally, but his crew's pretty weak, so they need one. And Chopper seems just like the cute little mascot you would need. At least I was picking up Chopper. Albeit by the horn, but he did it. Or not horn, by the antler. Chopper tries to grow and punch Luffy in the face, but Luffy still just throws him in the air higher. And Chopper then says, fine, he'll join. So yeah. And next up would be Alabasta. Luffy had annoyed that the Brokeworks beat up Dory and Broggy, which he doesn't admit it, but they're his friends. So, yeah. He's like admitting it, but he does make friends pretty easily. And he considers them friends as well. Well, like if you consider him a friend, he considers you a friend. He just won't openly admit it. They did Alabasta. Luffy doesn't know this is base operations. He's got information on Shanks. He has information on other things that annoy him, being Brokeworks and the world government themselves. But yeah, but as we walk basically through just Alabasta, Luffy's just enduring the heat. He doesn't really care about it too much. Well, his crew is panting, sweating like they're dying. But if someone would jump and tackle Luffy or try to, only for Luffy to look down, seeing a girl with blue hair. And Luffy looks at Luffy and she has the tears in her eyes. He goes, "Oh, Vivi, what are you doing here? Why aren't you in the castle with Koza or something?" We point out that, the revolution's full on started, and Crocodile forced me to join him. Lee just put his head down inside, saying, "Gone that bad, huh? Go find Koza, I'll handle it." She's not thinking Luffy, she runs off still crying, and Luffy immediately looked at Sanji and Chopper, saying, "Go help her." They're not following her, and Sanji just ran saying, "Pretty lady," with Chopper on his back, as Sanji's charging his top speed. So yeah. And Luffy thought he was a pervert, so she ran even faster than she thought. But then when they thought, Sanji revealed that they're part of Luffy's crew. So, yeah. Luffy even told everyone what Broker's tattoo, what the tattoo looks like, telling everyone who has it, find so-and-so people, go tell them what it looks like. Well, actually, Kid, I want you to go find Sanji and Chopper. Killer, join him if you want to. Nami, you talk to this guy, chief of the guards, go tell him. And she would do so, with Zoro joining her. Leaving Luffy and Usopp and Killer. Killer doesn't join Kid. Kid can handle himself. He has Sanji and Chopper too. So with this, they're able to march through the kingdom and hunt down a few guys who are just sneak spies for Brokeworks. Luffy eventually found a clock tower as he smelled something was off. Just smelled the air. Something was off. We went to march to the clock tower, and before seeing two guys working on a bomb, saying, "A few more months and this thing should be complete. It will Alabasta off the map." As his partner was going to apply, Luffy grabbed his partner by the neck and choked him out. Hey, "Oh, Bill, you there? You didn't even comment on anything. You're the guy who gives the estimations and everything." Usopp just said, "Lead ball," and hit him right in the jaw with it, knocking him out immediately. So yeah. Killer then says, "A nuke, huh?" He goes, "Oh yeah, Killer, you want to go off the roof for a second?" Killer would do so as Luffy picked up the bomb and threw it in the air as hard as he can with just one hand. Immediately he let out one giant slash, cutting the bomb in half, and with what little bomb, what little parts it had to make it a nuke, it was just more like a strong missile at this point. Then it blew up in a small shockwave, and Luffy just kind of jumped in the air, catching all the rubble, and then throwing it straight through the castle. And a lot of it was about to hit Crocodile, but it just kind of hit the wall and barely missed Cobra. It was honestly just for Luffy to see through the holes to find Crocodile. Luffy landed, and will confirm it's Crocodile now. So with this, he immediately told them, go find other crew members or find the numbers, whatever you want to do. But choose the numbers, what they look like. As Luffy just marched up to the castle, and But in the meantime, Nami ran over with Zoro, saying the guards are notified, and they held like a giant execution, but it worked. And Nami said that Sanji, Chopper, and Kid, they did a Mushi call thing, they did their thing. So yeah. Suddenly Mr. One would try to attack Luffy at top speeds, only for Zoro to just intervene with just one sword, telling him that if you want to get near Luffy, you have to try a lot harder than that. Hell, it wouldn't even phase him, but he wants to have a good fight. With Zoro and Mr. One being fighting, and Zoro pretty easily beat him with just the two-sword style, not even getting hit once. Miss Dolphin tried to hit Luffy, only for Nami to hit her in the chest with a Common attack. And this one was built by Kid and Usopp, so this is pretty good and did a lot of damage to her too. So this is Double Finger taking down in just one go. Other numbers are actually fighting Killer and Usopp. Basically, Mr. 2 would attack Killer, but Killer just impaled him to the side, calling him pretty weak because he just pulled the hook out and walked away. And Usopp is fighting like Mr. 3, but he just used a Firebird Star and hit him burn through the wax, hit him in the chest, lighting him on fire. And then Miss Golden Week tried to paint on Killer, but Killer turned around, grabbed her, and threw her through a building. So, yeah. Then the other numbers are pretty easily beaten up by Usopp and Killer. So, yeah, they're all in the middle of Alabasta right now. The few random numbers you don't see on camera, like Mr. 7, besides Mr. 9 and Miss Monday, and Mr. 8. Miss Monday, Mr. 8, and Mr. 7, Mr. 8, Mr. 9, and Miss Monday are not seen. Well, they're seen, but that's Igaram, the buff girl, and the guy with the crown is Mr. 9. But everyone else besides those guys, and the ones that Usopp and Killer defeated, are beaten up by Sanji, Chopper, and Kid. So yeah. Luffy walked in, fought Robin, and fought Crocodile. He didn't know the weakness was just water. Luffy ended up basically grabbing a sink and throwing it right at Crocodile. Because Luffy just kind of turned about the castle, hoping to find a weakness of him somehow. And he tore off a sink. Immediately, Crocodile sprayed just water that came from where the sink could work. As Crocodile's being sprayed by it, and he says, "Oh, what the hell is this?" But immediately he just impaled through the chest, and he just pulls the sword out and knocks him out. And they're making it a ride because, well, there's supposedly a lot of guards being executed by other guards. There's a lot of people being executed. There's been a lot of executions going on. Plus, a giant bomb went off. The Marines arrive. Luffy throws him Crocodile, telling him that he'll give him one chance to arrest him only, and if they try to arrest him himself, he'll kill them all. Fair enough. And the Marines immediately shivered in fear, only for full body to approach Luffy, trying to hit him in the face like a brass knuckle punch, saying, "Really, you think you're gonna beat? You're not on the ground." Luffy says, "Yup, and you did hit me in the face." But I looked at where his punch landed, and it just hit Luffy kind of in the neck. Luffy then holds him like a slap, saying, "I'll show you what a blow to the neck should do." And he kind of chopped him in the neck, full force, and immediately just broke it. So, yeah. He walked away, saying, or Crocodile, not me. Fair enough. That's fair enough, because I'm on the side of the kingdom. So, yeah. But with this will end the Alabasta arc, and the continuation of getting the crew that they would need, with Robin joining them as they leave, heading to Jaya now, so Luffy thinks he has a big enough crew. I hope you guys enjoy this What If, like and subscribe for more. Adios.